Let's talk about money. The government, of course, has been giving Americans stimulus payments to try and get through this coronavirus time. Is it enough? How much will it be? Where is the stimulus money for a lot of people? Where's my tax refund money? So, friend of our show, longtime colleague of mine, Raphael Tulino from the IRS, is here to answer some questions and help us understand what has been going on. Raphael, good to see you.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, okay. So first of all, let's just start with the fact that like every other entity in this country, the IRS also was forced to shut down in this time.
Yeah. So the enormity of sending out these payments, as you said, and you suggested, and I've seen and heard it myself for the last several weeks, and the frustrations of folks not getting their money quick enough. But consider, we are affected by the coronavirus as well. A lot of folks teleworking and things have been shut down for a while. The phones have been shut down. So everything on irs.gov, which has been frustrating for some people because they want to know about their account. And you can only do so much online. But yet, that's where everything is. And the tools we have are updated daily, and they're useful. Unfortunately, it's not able to talk to a live person. So consider that and understand, and we're still asking for patience and still understanding the frustration and apologize for that. The inconveniences, totally understand it. That said, understanding the timing of it, we've been asked to do this, administer legislation in a matter of days when it normally takes months, if weeks, if not months, to administer guidance on, and then turn around and send tens of millions of people, tens of billions of dollars in a matter of like 2 or 3 weeks is not so easy to do. Also considering that came at the end of the normal tax filing season, right, as opposed to, let's say, happening in August or September or something like that. So all those things together definitely put us in a difficult position, if you will, to get things out without a flaw here or there. And flaws are not good, but still, for the most part, we're doing the best we can to address them, even though most of them had already gone out. A lot of these payments, up to 130, 140 million, are already gone out in terms of direct deposit, and then paper checks have started and all that. But understanding those frustrations and apologizing for them, this is our side of it, and we're going to continue to do whatever we can to get everybody what they're eligible for as soon as we can.
I want to just make sure that we set the record straight. It's not like the IRS shut down, nobody did anything over these last 2 months, correct?
Yeah, no, everything was slowed down. People are teleworking, people doing what we do, but the processing of paper, for example, that pretty much stopped. The phone lines have been shut down, all these things. And they're slowly starting to morph back and reopen in a different look than it was before, but it's not going to be the same for a while. And that's just reality of everything, not just our administrative services that we do for the taxpayer.
What does it mean to not be able to be in an office for the IRS, which quite frankly, like many government agencies, works on systems that are older, systems that don't usually lend themselves to teleworking? Does it slow down the process even more?
It can, depending on what that process is. I mean, there's so many processes going on within the agency, it's hard to say one over the other. But certainly it's a hinder when you're not working full staff like we aren't. And still trying to do the best we can with the resources we have and where we're doing them. And certainly we understand on behalf of the taxpayer, we want to provide the best service and all that, and they deserve it. But understand on our side, we're doing what we can based on the pandemic and everything else that's going on for us to do what we do. And that means a lot of teleworking. That means a lot of shifting gears, if you will, to try to provide services in other ways.
All right. So our viewers have been very excited about this interview with you. I've gotten thousands of questions from people who want to know some answers. So since we've agreed to it, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions from our viewers about not only the stimulus payment, but also some regular tax filing information. First of all, I want to just make sure everybody is clear in that now the 2019 tax deadline has moved to July 15th, correct?
Yeah, pretty much every deadline and this is pretty much so it's a general statement, every deadline that had an April 15th into it, 2020 for the 2019 tax year, as you say, has moved to July 15th, 2020. Estimated tax payments, filing your return, other sorts of nuanced deadlines for other taxpayers besides just 1040 and that kind of thing. But the bottom line is most everything moves to July 15, 2020 for 2019 tax year as we stand now.
This isn't a viewer question. This is a Lisa question. July 19th. Is the IRS at all concerned or even thinking ahead at that point about the fact that perhaps in July, since everybody's been shut down for so long, nobody's going to have the kind of money to pay in July? Have there been any kind of discussions about payment plans or options?
Well, okay, so I don't know about what it's going to be going forward after July 15th. If there are some, we'll do what we've been asked to do or what we decided to do from April 15th. In other words, we suspended a lot of compliance through July 15th, meaning all kinds of suspensions of what we call taxpayer first in terms of collections and suspensions of this, that, and the other. So that information is fully available on irs.gov like everybody else, but that has been suspended for the most part as well. If you mean that going from July 15th going forward, perhaps, but as it is now, as we speak, it's July 15th. Going forward, should we be more flexible? Sure, if that's what the situation calls for, no question.
And I think that's a really good place to end it, because I think it's everybody's, and this is what I keep telling people, everybody's financial situation is different. And, it really is, I mean, there's some general guidelines, but you have to understand that everybody's financial situation is different.
Right, and we're doing the best we can to address that, but appreciate everybody understanding our side, at least in terms of the patience we're asking for to do the best we can to administer.
Is there anything else you want people to understand about moving forward?
Yeah, real quick, under no circumstance does the IRS call you out of the blue or send you an email about anything, let alone these payments, like saying you got to reapply or there's some other thing you got to do, click on this link, or here's a phone call that's asking you to this. We are not contacting you about these payments. It's a scammer. It's a robocall. It's a phone call. It's an email. Trying to use the IRS as a lure, that kind of a thing. So just understand, like any other scam message we always get out there, just be wary of any of those proactive emails or phone calls allegedly from the IRS asking you for this, that, and the other. Not the IRS, a scammer, those kinds of bad guys looking to take advantage.
All right. Raphael, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it, and for all that you're doing to try and get the information out. It's always good to see you.
Right on. Thanks so much for having me. I'm glad to do it.